Hey, it's Ariane. So today I'm going to be giving one piece of advice for every NBA team entering the 2018-2019 season. And I'm going to have 3 words for every team, and I'll elaborate on that. So let's start off with the Atlantic Division. For the Celtics, trade for AD. You can't pay everybody. You're eventually going to need to play Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier. You don't have enough cap space. You might as well get something from them while you can and get Anthony Davis in return. Nets, ignore free agents. Don't get carried away with flirting with free agents and showing Kevin Durant what we have. Just keep rebuilding and don't let the free agents distract you. Knicks, go for KD. Next offseason, go for KD. Unlike the Nets, I think you guys have much more potential and free agents want to go to the Knicks versus the Nets. So your big three can be Knox, Kristaps, and KD. So show off Knox and Kristaps as much as you can. 76ers, improve your bench. Maybe trade for Kyle Korver or some other bench piece that can improve your shooting. Because now you're lacking bench depth and shooting after losing Marco Bellinelli and Ersan Ilyasova in free agency. Raptors, all or nothing. Do everything you can to win this season. Look, eventually you're going to need to take risks. You don't think the Warriors took a risk by drafting Stephen Curry, an undersized point guard? You don't think the Hawks took a risk by drafting Trae Young? You have to take risks if you want to get that maximum potential you can get. Now let's go to the Central Division. Bulls, power forward fiesta. You have to fix your power forward problem. You have 4 quality starting potential power forwards in Jabari, Laurie, Bobby Portis, and Wendell Carter. I mean, if I were you guys, I'd find a way to trade at least 1 or 2 of them. Cavs, swallow your pride. Look, you won't be contending. So I know the owner, he said that he wants something Gilbert, Dan Gilbert. He said that he wants to continue contending, but you're not going to contend. You'll barely make the playoffs. So just rebuild, get a good pick, get a quality core with Colin Sexton, maybe even Rodney Hood and some other pieces, and just keep rebuilding. Pistons, 3/2. Look, your 2 best players mostly score in the paint in Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. You have to adapt to 2018 modern era basketball. People play by shooting threes, not by scoring 2s in a basket. Why do you think most stars are evolving their game to shooting threes? You have to get better 3-point shooters. Pacers, trade Victor Oladipo. I know this might not sound very smart right now, but I strongly believe Victor Oladipo just had 1 fluke season. I'd trade him while his trade value is very high. Bucks, believe in Bud. Look, you might get off to a slow start with Mike Budenholzer. You have to feel out how the roster is, what their pros and cons are, what they're good at, what they're not. But even when you get to a slow start or a rough patch in the season, just keep believing in Bud. Now the Southeast Division. Hawks, trust the process. Look, let your young players grow. It won't be pretty all the time. Trae Young's going to have a lot of turnovers. He's going to have a night where he goes 1 for 9, 3 turnovers, 4 fouls, but that's fine. It's normal for young players to struggle in the beginning, and that's good that they struggle. You don't think Michael Jordan had a bad night or Steph Curry had a bad night? Hornets, play your young players. Look, Kemba, it's way too obvious he needs to get traded. I bet every Hornets fan has heard that. So I'm not going to say that, so I'll just say play young players. Last year, you didn't play Malik Monk at all. You played him in Summer League this year. You saw he has a lot of potential. Why you didn't play him last year, I don't know. Don't do the same thing with Miles Bridges. Play him this year. You guys are not competing no matter what you guys say. Just play your young players and let them grow. Heat. Defense wins championships. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys aren't a championship level team. But if you want to reach your max potential, you're going to need to utilize your defense. In my opinion, you have the second best defensive team after the Celtics. Basically, a little bit worse of a worse version of the Celtics on the defense side. You have a lot of versatile pieces in Josh Richardson, Wayne Ellington, the guy you drafted last year, Bam Adebayo. Just use it as much as you can. Magic. Give me Mo Bamba. Get it? No? Okay. Anyway, so play your young players. You're not competing. Play Mo Bamba. Play your rookie last year, Jonathan Isaac. Play whatever other young pieces you have. Try to develop them as much as you can. Mo Bamba is going to have some rough nights. He's more of a project guy than coming straight to the league and dominating. So it's fine if he has bad nights. Wizards. Start Austin Rivers. I know your bench is depleted and you don't have very good backup guards, but if I were you guys, I'd put Austin Rivers starting lineup. Then you guys have a balance of shooting in Porter and Rivers, and you have driving playmakers in Beal and Wall. Move Porter to the 4, put Rivers at the 3, obviously John Wall, Bradley Beal, and Dwight Howard. More of a small lineup, but I think it'll work perfectly. Southwest Division. Mavs. Hire me, Mark. Look, you got to use a pick and roll offense. I mean, you have Luka Doncic, Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan. Use 2 of those 3 in the pick and roll all the time. If they trap the pick and roll, then you should have Wesley Matthews or Harrison Barnes in the corner. Think if Rick Carlisle does a good job coaching this team, they have the potential to make the playoffs. If they don't, hire me, Mark Cuban. I guarantee you, as coach, I'll let you guys make the playoffs. Rockets, please bench Melo. Don't get me wrong. I think Melo is a better player than PJ Tucker. Play him at the end of the games. But to start the game, PJ Tucker is a much better fit than Melo. PJ Tucker is more of a spot-up shooter. Melo needs the ball in his hand. Melo can be very efficient in the second lineup as in the bench piece. Because then he can will the bench to scoring 20 points, you know. But in the starting lineup, he'll be scoring around 10 or 12 points. Grizzlies, young over old. Focus on Javon Carter and Jaren Jackson, not Mike Conley and Pau Gasol. I know you're still trying to contend because if you guys don't contend, you guys aren't going to fill up those seats. And then you're going to need to say bye to the Memphis Grizzlies that are going to become the Seattle Grizzlies. But you have to focus on your young core. The Mike Conley, Pau Gasol, Zach Randolph era is done. Pelicans, trade Anthony Davis. I know this is very controversial, but I believe Anthony Davis will leave once his tenure with the Pelicans is done. Once his contract with the Pelicans is done. So trade him now. You can get Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. And then rebuild around Julius Randle, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. Then you have a solid young big three. Better than just having Anthony Davis and nobody around him. Spurs, future and present. Focus on winning now, but continue developing the young core of Murray, Pirtle, and Walker for the future. Why you guys haven't rebuilt in about 25 years is because you guys have always had a core for the future and present. It used to be Manu, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker. And then it was LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi, and now we're looking at the future. So continue developing the young core as you try to win. Northwest Division. Nuggets. Don't play Porter. Let him heal for the whole season. I know there are rumors he's trying to get back to playing this year, but many greats have missed their rookie year. It's not a bad thing if he misses rookie year. It's better for him to take the year off, develop, than possibly re-injures back. Timberwolves. Trade young pieces. Find a way to trade Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. Ironically, probably no one wants them because of how bad their contract situation is. But try to find a way to trade them and rebuild. Blazers. Trade for love. Trade all of your bad contracts, which we know you have a lot of, and a couple of incentives for love. Maybe something like Al-Farouq Aminu and Fernie Simmons, a first-round pick, and another bad contract. Thunder. Schroeder off bench. Let him run the backup duties. He can win Sixth Man of the Year. He can be the main man off the bench. If he plays in the starting lineup, he won't be utilized to the best of his ability. Because in my opinion, he's a downgraded version of Russell Westbrook. He's more of a tack to the paint guy, can shoot a little bit, but he's a great playmaker. He'll help the bench a lot. Jazz, trade for Love. Similar to the Blazers, I trade your bad contracts and some incentives for Love. Like Dante Exum. Who else did you sign? You signed your power forward Derek Favors to a bad contract, in my opinion. And then maybe throw in a couple picks. Pacific Division. Warriors, don't do anything. If I were you guys, I wouldn't do any trades. I wouldn't sign anybody. I think your roster is perfect. Just watch out for the Celtics because I have them winning the championship this year. Try to get as much scouting you can on the Celtics. Clippers, run through Tobias. Let Tobias shoot 30 shots a game. Let him improve his trade value. Next year, he'll look good when you're trying to get free agents like KD, Kawhi, Jimmy. Use him as trade bait. When you get your stars, you can trade him for maybe another star that Jimmy or Kawhi wants. Lakers, no peer pressure. Don't fall into the peer pressure of firing Luke Walton or trading for a star. It's inevitable that you guys are going to run into a bad stretch. I mean, it's the Western Conference and you're a young team. At one point, you guys are going to be like the 10th seed in the playoff race. LeVar is going to start talking. The media is going to be overreacting. But do not let that bother you. Just keep playing your game. You're going to pass that rough patch. And the key to it is not making any split-second reactions and overreacting. Suns, one more year. Don't trade for a star. You guys have said you want to trade for Patrick Beverley or some other good role piece. And then there are rumors you guys want to trade for like Kyrie Irving or another good star. But your team is perfectly fine the way it is. Your team is just a little too young. Just be patient. Give it one more year. And I think you guys could be a potential dynasty with Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, TJ Warren. The list goes on and on. Kings, believe in Bagley. Run your offense through him. The rest of your roster is garbage. I mean, with all due respect, you don't have many other pieces. Just let him get as many shots as he wants. Let him develop, and that will do it. Thanks for watching. Hit the notification button, like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know if there's anything I can improve in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.